Jamal Jackson grew up in the unforgiving streets of East Oakland, where the broken glass of yesterday's struggles crunched under his feet with every step. At 25, he found himself navigating the treacherous waters of adulthood, full of unexpected responsibilities and heart-stopping decisions. Jamal's heart belonged to Keisha, his girlfriend of 2 years, a fiercely independent woman with dreams of her own. But before Keisha, there was Latoya, his fiery and unpredictable baby mama. It was supposed to be a brief fling, just a month-long escape, but it resulted in the birth of little Malik, his spitting image. Latoya never forgave him for moving on with Keisha, and she wielded their son like a weapon, dictating when and if Jamal got to see him. Whenever Jamal's phone rang, and it was Latoya, the tension was palpable. "Is that bitch there?" was always her first question, dripping with accusation and bitterness. Jamal tried to remain calm, reminding Latoya that Keisha deserved respect, but Latoya thrived on chaos. Just yesterday, she'd called him at 7 p.m. sharp. "I want to see Malik," he had stated plainly, trying to keep his voice steady despite the whirlpool of emotions inside. "I'm tired of you asking me that," Latoya snapped, her voice like ice. "You ain't seeing him if she's there." "Latoya, please," Jamal pleaded. "Don't do this. Malik needs his father." "My son needs a stable home," she retorted, "and that snake of yours ain't part of it." The call ended with Latoya hanging up, leaving Jamal with the familiar feeling of helplessness. He glanced at Keisha, who sat across the room, watching the one-sided conversation play out. "Will you ever get tired of this?" Jamal asked, breaking the silence. Keisha rose, wrapping her arms around his broad shoulders, resting her chin on his head. "I'm here for you, Jay, for us, but you've got to find a way through this, for all of us." With Keisha by his side, Jamal knew he had to rise above the chaos for the sake of his family. He took a deep breath, ready to confront his past and secure a better future for Malik and Keisha. The next morning, Jamal's mind raced with plans, each one as shaky as the ground he'd grown upon. He needed a solution, a way to bridge the acrimonious gap with Latoya, not just for his sake, but for Malik's future. Jamal, feeling the weight of a stressful week, decided it was time to unwind. He called up a couple of his homies, and soon they were headed to the nightclub. The nightclub was alive, with beams of colorful light slicing through the smoky haze, and dancers gracefully spinning on polished poles. The energy in the room was electric. "Let's hit the pool table," Dexter suggested, eager to play. Jamal nodded, and the two friends moved over, ready to engage in a friendly game. Just then, a lady approached Jamal, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "Would you like to dance?" she asked with a playful smile. Jamal, feeling adventurous, agreed and followed her to the dance floor. The music seemed to slow down for a moment as she danced, moving with a captivating rhythm. After the song was over, Jamal then rejoined Dexter at the pool table. The evening flowed on seamlessly, as Jamal and Dexter ordered more rounds of beer and challenged each other to game after game. As they played, two beautiful ladies sauntered over, their curiosity piqued by the deep competition. They chatted and flirted, adding a layer of allure to the evening. They all headed to a quieter area out back, where the ambient noise of the club was just a distant hum. Passing around a joint, they engaged in light-hearted conversation. One of the ladies opened up about her struggles with a neglectful dad, her words tinged with vulnerability. Jamal listened intently, nodding in empathy. "I feel you," he responded. "I've got my own struggles. My baby's mama keeps my kid away from me. It's like a punch to the gut." The weight of their words hung in the air, a shared understanding forming in the smoky twilight. In that quiet moment, they all realized the weight of their experiences was a burden they shared, forging an unexpected connection under the shimmering stars. As the night continued, the club pulsed with energy again, pulling Jamal and his friends back into its infectious rhythm, leaving behind the weight of their earlier conversation. With renewed spirits, they raised their beers in a toast, embracing the moment, the laughter and music renewing their sense of joy as they lost themselves in the night. The dance floor became their stage, filled with laughter and rhythm as they celebrated friendship and the magic of the night, forgetting their troubles. As the night escalated, Jamal found himself in the spotlight, showcasing his moves to an energetic crowd that illuminated the club's pulsating vibe. The energy peaked as the crowd erupted in applause, celebrating the moment, with Jamal embracing the rush and feeling alive like never before. As Jamal stumbled through the door of his apartment, the heavy bass from the nightclub still pulsing through his veins, he knew he was walking into a storm. Keisha sat on the couch, arms crossed and eyes flaring with a mixture of worry and anger. "Where have you been? Why didn't you call me?" she yelled as soon as he walked in. Jamal, trying to maintain his cool, mumbled, "I needed a break. I needed to unwind." Their voices clashed like thunder and lightning, their argument escalating, words firing like live wires. But somewhere in the midst of the chaos, Jamal reached for a strategy he knew all too well: romance and tender words. Slowly, he drew close to Keisha, whispering soft apologies and holding her tightly. They walked hand in hand to the bedroom, entangling in a space of temporary peace, falling asleep under the veil of night until the piercing ring of Jamal's phone shattered the silence at 9 a.m. It was Latoya, his ex, and the confrontation was immediate and fiery. "Where were you last night, Jamal? You think you can just disappear and ignore your responsibilities?" She hurled accusations down the line, her voice sharp and slicing. "We need to do this right for Malik's sake," Jamal countered, his voice steady but weary. "You mean my baby? Don't you ever forget that," Keisha interjected, the room thick with her resentment. "Our child," Jamal insisted, but the line went dead as Keisha slammed the phone down in rage. Determined not to let the day dissolve into a repeat of the night before, Jamal called her back. His voice was calm, soothing, weaving words of understanding and unity until they softened Keisha's hardened demeanor. She agreed to meet him for the sake of Malik. An hour later, Jamal found himself at the park, his heart pounding as he scanned the area. There he spotted Latoya pushing the stroller, worry and weariness marking her face. With careful steps, Jamal edged closer, reaching into the stroller to lift his son Malik, his world condensed into one tiny, precious being. As he held Malik close, his heart swelled with love and hope. "I'm here for him, Latoya," Jamal said, his voice firm with conviction. Latoya sighed, her eyes softening as she watched Malik giggle in Jamal's arms. "Let's do better for him," she conceded. The drama of the past night seemed to melt away at that moment, leaving room for new beginnings, at least for Malik's sake. As Jamal sat on the park bench with Malik on his lap, chatting with Latoya, he realized that amidst chaos and drama, there was always a chance for reconciliation, for choosing harmony over discord, if only they decided to seize it. In that moment, Jamal understood that the challenges they faced were not just obstacles, but opportunities for growth and understanding. He knew that as long as they focused on what truly mattered, their love for Malik could guide them toward a brighter future. Together, they could navigate the complexities of parenthood, learning to communicate and support one another for Malik's sake. As they strolled through the park, laughter replaced tension and hope began to fill the air. Each step forward was a promise to Malik that they would strive to be better together. As Jamal